which recognizes top innovative Indian enterprises across industry segments and sectors, is one such example which has emerged as a true change agent. I once again take this opportunity to welcome all participants to this summit that will provide unparalleled opportunities to further connect scientific knowledge creation to business enterprises as a part of this very dynamic ecosystem, to brainstorm on the following themes. First, a welcome, students, a very, very special welcome to you. One, how can we nurture and future, and I'm glad the students have come now. Two, what can be done for fostering R&D investment? Three, how can we encourage women in STEM to come to the center of science, research, and innovation? And four, very importantly, how can we unleash government, industry, academia, and research partnership to derive maximum synergy? Let me close by reminding ourselves that to become a wealthy global superpower, innovation of new products and services based on credible research output has to become part of our DNA. I wish the summit all success and look forward to a stimulating day. Thank you very much.
We need this energy throughout the day. Thank you so much. I now request Mr. Alok Nanda, Co-Chair CII National Mission on Technology, Innovation and Research, CEO GE India Technology Center, and CTO GE Aerospace India, for an address, please. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to all the dignitaries and every one of you for coming and gracing this occasion. You know, innovation is very close to my heart, and Dr. Sondhi very eloquently described where we are and what are our goals of the future. So I'm like really proud to be partnering in this journey of CII as we take this very critical aspect of innovation forward for our nation and for humanity, because that's really the differentiator that takes us forward. Dr. Sondhi has shared the goals. I'll share some of my thoughts around how I see innovation, having this privilege of and the vantage point of looking at it not only from India point of view, but I see it across the world, how our company does innovation, how I see world doing innovation. But let's first figure out what innovation is. And as an engineer, I have equations for everything. So this is an equation which I like. Innovation multiplied by commercial deployment of that novelty. Okay. Now there is a multiplication sign. What it means is if there is no commercial deployment, and commercial deployment doesn't mean creating rupees or dollars or money. It could mean value for society. It could mean value for the nation. It could also mean money. Okay. So any commercial deployment which creates value for society. So if that value is zero, it's not innovation. The novelty is not enough. And if novelty is not there, again, it's not innovation. Novelty is required for it to be innovation. So we need novelty, good ideas, but we also need those ideas to create value for our society, for our businesses, for our nation. Right? That value is very critical, and many times I see people confuse invention with innovation. There is a lot of invention going on. There is a lot more innovation that we can do with. You know, as a nation, we can be proud of many things. We have a lot to be proud of. And many of us travel around the world, and what we see in the digital space, you go anywhere in the world. Nowadays, when you travel outside, you miss the UPI, the ease of UPI transaction. Okay, that is brilliant what our country has done. You think about Aadhaar, it's one of the most innovative ways of identifying people, and we have the largest population anywhere in the world. If you see our service industry, especially the digital technology, services industry, and I emphasize digital technology because these days if you say technology, people assume only digital technology. So I started categorizing that separately. If you see digital technology, service industry, I think we are the best in the world. At a time period where there is so much talk of recession and everything slowing down, I think India is the only place we keep on growing and growing at a rate which is fabulous. Our manufacturing industry today is equivalent to anywhere in the world. If you see major products getting manufactured in India, it's just phenomenal. As Dr. Sondhi said, we have a huge focus on STEM, diversity, inclusion going on in our country, and you can see it in this crowd as well. And I'm really happy to see the kind of diversity that is there now in our population. Is it enough? No. But are we making progress? Absolutely. So we have a lot to be very, very, very proud of in our nation of what we've done. The other thing that I see from my vantage point that we are very proud of is if you see the partnership between industry and academia. Even 7 years ago, I came to this institution and met one of the professors, and the intent was, let's collaborate and all. And what I was told, you see that building that is given by Microsoft, where is the GE building? And my point was, I have not come here to give money, I have come here to give problems. Let's work together, solve problems. And today, that is completely transformed. We are working with IITs, we are working with several educational institutions, we are working with government institutions as GE. And we've had several programs where we create cutting edge technology and innovation. An example being the work on combustion that we are doing with Professor Satya at IIT Chennai is just phenomenal. And I was very happy when they showed me that they've created now a startup where they've taken that additive combustion technology that we created and put it in some of the space applications that startup is developing. It's just phenomenal when I see these things happening, which I had not enjoyed when I was in my growth years as an engineer. Another example, this is with government, direct government collaboration, what we've done with IIT Chennai. We have additive technology, is upcoming. We wanted to grow. We wanted to do it in a way that MSMEs get benefited. Chennai, Tamil Nadu government came forward. They have now a center of excellence with GE, which is based on co-funding and co-benefit model. We have that center of excellence established in Chennai, where GE and IIT Chennai come together and create this ecosystem around additive technology in that area, which is again one of the most important areas for us when it comes to automotive and hopefully aerospace in years to come. So we have a lot to be proud of, but are we there yet? That's the question that we need to answer in this summit today. Are we there yet? Are we happy? Have we reached our entitlement? I think the data that Dr. Sondhi shared is illustrative. We are not there yet. There is a lot to be done. We have to get industry to take a lead. A lot of our examples of working with academic institutions are more MNC based, which is not a bad thing, but it's not enough. We need our Indian industry to experience the same level of this tremendous talent that we have in our educational institutions all around. The government, industry, academic institution, and some of our startup ecosystems, some of our national labs, we need to find a way to work together. We spend a lot of money in India on technology. Very less of it goes into innovation. And if we can change that cycle, we can actually make our industry competitive. I'll just in the end give one example of why I say that is very important. I believe our industry is non-competitive when it comes to innovation because the way we do innovation in India. I gave an example of additive manufacturing. We as GE spends a lot of money on innovation. And we were evaluating where to invest, and we were seeing where the world is investing. So GE was investing like $20-30 million annually on additive technology. We saw how much US government is spending. Any guesses, just guess in your mind how much US government would be spending annually on additive, and GE like company which owns additive is spending 20-30 million. US government was spending $4 billion in additive manufacturing development across national labs, their national labs, across educational institutions, across industry. GE started partnering to get our share of that 4 billion to take the technology forward. But you know, if you think about any Indian industry now wanting to get ahead and expected to spend their own profit margins into R&D, because that's what we want. Okay. Now, even if they spend, if there is no, if they have to compete with that 4 billion, how do you compete? Okay. And that's why I'm like, my mission for last few years has been to share those models with us, and I mean, the time that I spend with CII is in the hope that one day we will remove that non-competitiveness with the kind of talent we have, with the kind of entrepreneurship we have, the kind of passion we have in India. It will result in getting us to be not only champions in digital technologies like we are, but in every technology that we can imagine, and we become the nation that everybody looks up to when they think about industrial innovation at scale. And we are not like queuing up to get others to invest in our country. People should be queuing up for us to invest in every country around the world, because we have the best products and the best innovative solutions. With that, thank you so much. Enjoy your day and hopefully take some nuggets out of the day and change the trajectory of our country when it comes to innovation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Very impactful, especially explaining us the innovation equation and quotients which are making tinkle in every heart and brain today. Thank you. Now we have a very special address for the day by Mr. Ruhi Nishi, First Secretary, Science and Technology, Embassy of Japan in India. I request you, sir, to please address the gathering. Thank you.
Namaste, good morning, and konnichiwa in Japanese language. First, Mr. Vipin Sandhi, Chairman CII National Mission on Technology Innovation and Research. Mr. Alok Nanda, Co-Chair CII National Mission on Technology Innovation and Research. Professor Ragam Banerjee, Director IIT Delhi. Professor KP Sudar, EX Officer, Principal Secretary, Science and Technology Department, Government of Kerala. And Dr. Parvinder Maini, Scientific Secretary, Office of PSA, Government of India. And distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. I am Ryu Nishi from Embassy of Japan in India. I am a first secretary in charge of science and technology. And first of all, let me express my heartfelt congratulations on the Global Science Research and Innovation Summit. I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to PSA, CII, IIT Delhi, and all other stakeholders for organizing this event. Needless to say, India has experienced a huge growth and is now one of the leaders in the world. And this year, India is hosting the G20 and leading the discussions in various fields. I believe that strong human resources in India and strong science and technology and strong industries are accelerating such a great growth of India. And as you may agree, the relationship between India and Japan has experienced a rapid and significant expansion in recent years. In March of this year, Prime Minister Kishida from Japan visited Delhi and exchanged views with Prime Minister Modi. Last year, Prime Minister Modi visited Japan twice. These high-level exchanges show the depth of the relationship between Japan and India. And science and technology is one of the most important fields to which both our governments attach the highest value for further bilateral collaborations. There are many areas where more collaboration between India and Japan is aspired. We are looking forward to the exciting synergy in such an important field as artificial intelligence, healthcare, environment, green energy, nanotechnology, and quantum technology, and so on, where the researchers from both Japan and India are collaborating to make contribution to better life and society. One more important area is people-to-people exchange. I strongly believe that people-to-people exchange are the basis for bilateral cooperation. And I feel that there is still very little exchange between Japan and India, especially among the younger generation. I would very much like to increase this number of people-to-people exchange in the younger generation. I have heard that this event is being attended by leading business persons, researchers, students, and so on. I sincerely hope that this event will accelerate people-to-people exchange and further develop cooperation between our two countries in the future. So let me conclude my remarks by wishing this summit will be fruitful and meaningful for you all. Thank you very much. Dhanyawad and arigatou gozaimasu.
That was wonderful, insightful address, and especially for learning about the Japan. Now we have another very important address by Professor Rangan Banerjee, Director IIT Delhi. I request you, sir, to please address the gathering. Over to you. Thank you.
Good morning. It's a great pleasure for me on behalf of the Institute to be co-hosting this summit along with CII. And I'd like to thank CII for this opportunity. We at IIT Delhi are very keen to see that the ideas and the research that our students and faculty come up with actually make an impact in society. How do we do this? For doing this, we really need very, very strong linkages with industry. And this is what we look to CII for. Mr. Nanda said, are we there? Very clearly we are not there. We are in the right direction. But we all need to figure out much stronger ways in which we interact with each other. And what are the asks? I'm sure the industry has a lot of asks from us, and I heard from Mr. Nanda that it's not just about, we are not looking to industry just for the buildings and the funding, but we are looking to industry for the relevant problems so that we work on research that will actually make a difference. And we have various models by which we do this. We work with industry to solve specific problems where we look at consultancy projects. We work with industry to look at longer term problems where we look at sponsored research. We work with industry and government where we look at something else which has a larger impact. We have 23 centers of excellence, many of them funded by industry, where we involve groups of faculty to look at a domain. We now have a research and innovation center where we invite industry to come and be with us, be a part of us, have your own office within our campus, and make mechanisms for where you work together. We work with industry to look at specialized training through our continuing education program, through the eVidya modules, through the sponsored master's program. We are now started, this year we are starting an MTech in robotics, and it's a collaborative MTech, many of the people that we expect to be sponsored from industry. We hope that industry will be providing challenging opportunities to our postgraduates, to our MTechs and our PhDs. The challenge, I would request CII to ensure that of our 300 to 400 PhDs who graduate each year, at least 100 go out to industry. Do we have those kind of jobs? Please try and create those kind of jobs. Only when we create good opportunities for people who are trained in research, will we create an ecosystem where people value the masters and the PhD degrees? We need to come up with new models. We have a reasonable innovation system in our campus where we encourage students to run with their ideas and we provide support. But we still have that value of that. We have the prototype, but that prototype going to market and scaling needs us to have a long-term strategic thought. We need to create mechanisms where we make the products ready to market. And if we are to fulfill the vision of the Prime Minister where we are Atmanirbhar, we need to make sure that we provide through our research the competitive advantage for our industry. For this, we need to have long-term strategic linkages with industry, and we are keen to do much more. We are not there yet, but we are keen to go there. We are in the right direction, so we look forward to working with CII to see how we can take this forward. All the themes that are there today in terms of, we are looking at diversity and gender, we are looking at innovation, we are looking at research, are themes which are close to the Institute's goals, and we look forward to seeing the deliberations of this summit and hoping that this summit will be one step more in our journey so that we reach there quickly. We work together so that we can make a greater impact in society. Industry, academia and research are different parts. We need to work together to see that really we take our country to become a developed country, and we have the technology and look at educating the future generations of people. So we are delighted to be here, and I'd like to welcome all of you on behalf of the Institute, and hope that you will have many more opportunities to keep coming back to the Institute so that we really strengthen our partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It was indeed a very thought-provoking address, and for letting us understand that what all can we do to create this ecosystem, and definitely we will keep coming back for sure. I now request Professor Sudhir, ex-officio Principal Secretary, Science and Technology Department, Government of Kerala, to address please. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vipin Sondhi, Mr. Alok Nanda, Mr. Royal Nishi, Professor Rangan Banerjee, Dr. Parvinder Mini, and Dr. Ashish Mohan, delegates of the conference, dear students. It's indeed a pleasure for me to stand before you, especially in this seminar hall where I received my PhD degree in 2000. So it's always, as Dr. Banerjee said, it's coming back to IIT is always homecoming. And when this opportunity was given, I was very happy to accept it. So thanks to CII for that. Well, the partnership between the government, industry and academia has a crucial role in driving the nation, for that matter any nation. And if you look at, as mentioned by the previous speakers, if you look across the world, this partnership has been very successful in many, many developed countries. But in our country, it's still in the baby steps. But creating this partnership is easier said than done. It's very tough. And it requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including policymakers, scientists, researchers, and business leaders. We need to foster an environment that encourages collaboration and provides the necessary resources and support for research and innovation. This includes funding research and development, providing access to the state-of-the-art facilities and equipment, and promoting educational and training in science and technology. Industry academia linkage is ranked to be or rated to be 4.7 out of 10 in our country. Our situation is that, as I said, we are still at the baby step. The industry academia linkage, according to a recent study done by the Chamber of Commerce, it says that we need to put a lot of efforts to improvise it further. India's position globally in scientific publications has improved from 7th position in 2010 to 3rd position in 2020, which makes a lot of impact on our research side. India is ranked 4th globally, producing slightly over 24,000 doctoral graduates each year. However, several of our research outputs still lie as an academic achievement. That's where the linkage which Professor Banerjee mentioned about is more important. Extensive and spacious research is currently underway in universities, academic institutions and R&D facilities in Kerala state, primarily funded by the public funds. So I give a little example about Kerala state because I represent Kerala state right now, though I am a professor of IIT Madras. Unfortunately, due to the research being conducted in isolation and lack of awareness by industry leaders, the research outcomes often fail to translate into practical commercial products or processes that could benefit to the public. In most cases, the research is concluded with the project's completion report and no further action is taken to advance it towards product development. It is in this context that the Kerala Science and Technology Department, which I represent, started a new initiative called PAIR. PAIR stands for Partnering Academic and Industrial Research, and it's a collaboration between academia and industry to develop new technologies, products and services. The collaboration is important because it allows for the transfer of knowledge and expertise from academia to industry and vice versa. By working together, academic researchers and industry professionals can develop innovative situations or solutions to real-world problems and create new opportunities for economic growth and development. So the benefits of the PAIR are access to cutting-edge research, commercialization of research, funding opportunities, career opportunities. And I'm glad to report in one of the PAIR programs which we concluded recently, one of the students from National Institute of Interdisciplinary Science came up with, in collaboration with one of the biotechnology industry, primarily a 1 lakh rupees worth Raman spectrophotometer, which the purpose for which it is developed is to identify the adulteration in drugs, the pharma industry. So primarily these kind of talents can be tapped when there is a partnership between the academia as well as the industry. According to the Government of India documents, the country's expenditure on research and development in 2021 was around 0.69% of GDP. It's worth noting that Indian government has set a target to increase its R&D expenditure to 2% of GDP by 2030. In this context, it's worth mentioning that the recent initiative by the Government of Kerala, we have a separate research and development budget tabled along with the annual budget in 23-24, which was a novel initiative by the Government of Kerala. The document earmarked around 3,500 crores, which is 0.31% of the GSDP, for research in 12 sectors. The highest allocation for the R&D budget in Kerala is the higher education and research institutions, which is 46%, followed by medical and health sector, which is 23%. At present, neither the union nor any state government presents a separate budget document on R&D. We hope that the Kerala's pioneering effect will be a trendsetter in knowledge and innovation driven development and the building up of vibrant innovation system in our country. Another theme of today's summit is the women or the gender equality. The women have been historically underrepresented in STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. However, in recent years, there has been a growing movement to encourage and support women in STEM. There are many reasons why women have been underrepresented in STEM fields. One of the main reasons is gender stereotypes and biases, which can lead to women being discouraged from pursuing careers in STEM. This can start as early as childhood, with girls being less likely to be encouraged to explore STEM subjects and toys. I am proud to say that the Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, which is a constituent part of the Science and Technology Department, has several schemes and programs to support and encourage women in STEM. Some of these include Women Scientist Scheme, where the scheme provides opportunities for women who have had a break in their career due to various reasons to re-enter into scientific research. Another program is the Gender Advance for Transforming Institutions, support for women in science and technology, Women Scientist Fellowship explicit for them, and we also offer scholarship from the 12th standard student till they graduate or do a post-graduation for the women scientists or women students specifically. One of the observations we had is, well, all of you know that Kerala is the highest literate state of the country, and when we offer these scholarships to the 12th standard, 80% of them are girl childs. And out of the 80% who receive this scholarship, at least 50% of them go up to post-graduation in national institutes. And we have recently did a survey and we found that all the IITs and IISCs, IISERs, IISc, the number of students who enter into these institutions who are from Kerala, at least 50% are from the girls category. So overall, our council's schemes in women promoting the gender equality in STEM fields by providing support opportunities are very nice, and it could be a model for other states as well. The majority of research findings, as mentioned earlier, tend to remain in the early stages of technology readiness level, TRL 1, and seldom progress beyond TRL 9. Therefore, it's crucial to inform science and technology based industries and startups about ongoing research and innovation so that they can contribute to converting these outcomes into innovative technologies, products and services. This is where I require partnership from CII. We have planned for an industry academia meet in 2023, which is earmarked in our budget. So probably I would approach the CII for helping us in organizing it in a much better way, where the industry collaboration, the academic collaboration, everything can start. We have, I have a lot of things to announce, but then we have another program which was recently launched by the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, which is establishment of science parks in Kerala, which primarily, I think he mentioned about the industry academia linkages at IIT Madras, which primarily we are looking at the state level. We are establishing 4 science parks in Kerala, where we expect industry academia linkage at a higher level, and which helps benefiting for development of startups as well as high-end academic research. See, one of the points which I wanted to mention here is, in our country, the talent is unlimited. So now what we require is give a very good environment for tapping the talent for the industrial growth and for the societal benefit. So I don't want to extend it for long. So I'm very glad that the CII has come up with a summit of science innovation, research innovation summit, which I think all of us will be able to discuss and deliberate a lot of points more than what I have discussed today. And I wish the summit a very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind words, sir. We are very happy to learn about your experience and the state of Kerala. Now the much awaited moment of the day has arrived, when we are ready to introduce you to the 3 thematic subject reports to be released by CII, and which are of course prepared under the CII National Mission on Technology, Innovation and R&D. But before we move to the release, please allow me to introduce you to the 3 reports. About the first report on advanced materials. Advanced materials have the power to drive technological innovation and are critical as their application across all technology verticals from defense to space. The focus sector of the reports include graphene, titanium, biomaterials, recycling materials, composite materials, ceramic and rare earth elements. The report has been prepared under the leadership and support of Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya ji, Vice President, Technology and New Material Businesses, Tata Steel. About our second report on women in STEM. India has 43% women STEM graduates, but only 14% are recruited in the workforce. This report is a part of various initiatives taken by the CII to enable and enhance participation of women in STEM. This report has been prepared under the leadership and support of Ms. Shruti Kannan, Head Cisco for Startup and Digital Natives. Third report to be released is Industry Academia Collaboration Report. Industry Academia partnership are instrumental in advancing research and creating a skilled workforce. This report speaks about the status, challenges, bright spots, best practices, and much more. The report has been prepared under the leadership and support of Professor Rishikesh Krishnan, Director, IIM Bangalore. Now, as you've always been hearing it, we've been speaking about CII National Mission on Technology, Innovation and Research. Please allow me to take you through a small video of 2 minutes to introduce you all. I request you to please play the video. Thank you. You will be very happy to know that our renowned, honored report leads are among us today. Without even wasting a minute more, I now request our report leads, Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya ji, Ms. Shruti Kannan and Professor Rishikesh Krishnan to please join us on the stage to facilitate the launching of the reports. Please. Without their efforts, guidance and support, these moments would not have been possible. I now request our eminent panelists and report leads to please launch the 3 thematic reports. Show your energy, please. Yes, we start with advanced materials, sir. Advanced materials. Under Dr. Debashish Bhattacharya ji. Thank you. Moving to the next report, Women in STEM, please. Under the support of Ms. Shruti Kannan. Thank you. Moving to the third report of Industry Academia Collaboration. Under the support and guidance of Professor Rishikesh Krishnan. Thank Thank you very, very much. A big moment for all of us and a step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you.
Trees on the dais, off the dais, participants, invited speakers, students, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good morning to all of you. I thank CI for organizing the summit on global science, research and innovations with a focus on fostering science, research and innovation partnership under the aegis of India's G20 presidency. This is, of course, very timely and important, and I'm very happy to be giving a special address to this August gathering, and where we have our stakeholders from various fields who are coming together to deliberate on this various topics that have been chosen for the summit. And of course, there are contemporary pressing issues that need to be addressed. Today, we are on the brink of a changing world. We are undergoing profound social and economic transformations that have been catalyzed by unprecedented access to data and computation. There is advancement in critical technologies. Promotion of innovation for resilience and self-reliance is being taken up very strongly. And of course, there is an increasing realization of partnership among industry, academia, researchers, and this is taken as a growth strategy. And lastly, of course, diversity and inclusiveness for a broader perspective is, of course, gaining very lot of importance. Now, the impact of these transformations are seen in every sector, be it healthcare, defense, space, technology, energy, whatever, and many more. Even if you see actually that the journey of India for the last 75 years, India has made commendable advancements in both the civilian as well as strategic sectors. And it has shown self-reliance and stood itself at par with many of the advanced nations. From missiles, rocket systems, nuclear reactors, satellite launches, supercomputers, India has actually stood it all. And you must have heard in the papers, soon the Gaganyaan mission of India will be taking civilians to space. This is, of course, commendable. And the development of the COVID vaccine is another milestone that India achieved during the pandemic. In addition, we as a nation are doing our best to meet the zero emission targets. The National Green Hydrogen Mission, the National Superconductor Mission, all this have been launched with the same purpose. And you know, last month, India achieved another milestone when it launched the National Quantum Mission and placing India among the top 6 leading nations just after US, Austria, Finland, France, and China. Needless to say, science, research, and innovation are deeply ingrained into the entire ecosystem, without which these missions cannot be delivered. And India has been promoting Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. As a result, today we have the most vibrant startup ecosystem with more than 75,000 startups, and 15% of these are in the deep tech startup ecosystem. Thus, India is definitely transforming. But these transformations are not equal across the world. They are uneven, they are sporadic. And this is predominantly due to local challenges in every part of the world, which may be affected, which may vary due to social conditions, demographically, environmentally, and economically. Now, how do we address the disparate ramifications of these global challenges to ensure equal opportunity to all? This is only possible when we share knowledge, we share resources across boundaries. So we need to, the word co is becoming more and more important. We need to co-develop, co-produce. We cannot compartmentalize our R&D ecosystem. We need to come out from working in silos and work in partnership, in cohesion with all other stakeholders. Of course, we heard Sri Vipin Shodhi in the morning reading out some of the benchmarks that has been. So it'll be really interesting to know during the deliberations of the day how this is more discussed during the various the panel discussions that Summit has laid out, CI has laid out. So I'm sure with this understanding and motivation, this is how CI has actually focused on 4 panel areas. The first topic on nurturing skilled future-ready workforce. As you're all aware that under the G20, India's G20 presidency, the G20 Chief Science Advisors Roundtable has been introduced, and we had a very successful first meeting in Ramnagar, Uttarakhand, and where we discussed on 4 important topics. And of course, some of the member countries, particularly the ones faced with an aging population, had raised specific issues about future workforce. So taking this discussion forward, I'm happy to state that our office is co-hosting the special panel on nurturing skilled future-ready workforce under the joint banner of G20 Chief Science Advisors Roundtable and Business 20. Now, of course, we foresee some of challenges which are involved in this. There is lack of appropriate training and education. The pace of technological advancement is there, which we need to meet. There is aging population in some societies, brain circulation and unequal distribution of skilled professionals, and of course, inclusivity issues in workforces. So these are all multidimensional and transboundary, and these need to be taken into account when we discuss this issue. And of course, the second panel on fostering R&D investments is extremely important, as transformation in science, technology, R&D landscape requires considerable investment in R&D. As has been told by my previous speakers, the total global R&D expenditure that India makes is just 2.8%. And in terms of DBT, we are actually almost remaining constant at 0.6 to 0.7%. And we have been aiming to reach 2% of GDP for the last few decades. But we have to see where is the gap. The gap is, what we understand is most of the funding is by the public funding, that is government funds most of the R&D. So we need to see more and more industry partnership come in. So industry R&D is definitely going to play a major role in increasing India's gross expenditure on R&D. Now, despite this and despite significant advancements in recent years, women are still underrepresented in science and technology, which also our previous speaker spoke about it. They are underrepresented both in the academic as well as business sectors. This is of course due to several factors, most of which are connected to women's position in contemporary society and glass ceilings that favor the presence of male dominance in the workforce. India has certainly achieved some milestones. We have increased the percentage of women leaders in Indian ecosystem. We have also increased the percentage share of women participation in key sectors. However, we still have a long way to go. So the third panel on advancing women in STEM will definitely discuss ways on how to fully leverage our human resource potential. And this is possible if we see this as a human resource optimization challenge rather than a women issue. It is therefore our collective responsibility to amend our institutional and organizational policies through corrective measures and programs. Now we also look forward, all this is possible only when there are collaborations. So partnership is the key mantra. And of course, Professor Sudhir said this requires concerted efforts, and I really like the word pair that you used. And so large-scale actually impact is possible only when all stakeholders, that is government, industry, researchers, all of them come together and play their part equally and synergistically. We have, of course, examples where, when these collaborations actually establish themselves and we have good business models to showcase. And of course, most of the newly launched missions that I just mentioned, which Government of India has launched, necessarily requires the partnership of industries in all four fronts. Otherwise, we will not be able to deliver the way we want. And government has also launched a lot of production-linked initiatives for this. Now, Office of PSA also has some very good examples to showcase, but however, we have a long way to go. We heard, of course, both Sri Alok Nanda ji and, of course, the director, Professor Rangan Banerjee, on what is the role that industry has to play in actually delivery to society. So actually this is something that we need to really think about and discuss during the panel discussions when we have later in the day. So the panel may go into details and come out with certain deliberation and outcomes, and really look forward to the recommendations so that we can take it forward and introduce into our entire R&D ecosystem. With these few words, I thank you once again and thank CIA for this foresight to have this kind of summit where we can all work in cohesion and together and really take the R&D ecosystem of the country to greater heights. Thank you so much.
And express the closing remark. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Diksha. It is indeed a pleasure and a privilege for me to extend vote of thanks and some closing remarks to this August gathering and this inaugural. I would also like to congratulate all of you for releasing three reports, which are, has been a work of extensive and very in-depth analysis on the three subjects, which Office of PSA has been guiding us how to take these subjects forward in the way they are shaping up. Thank you for that. I would like to start with thanking Dr. Parvinder Mani. Thank you, ma'am, for gracing the occasion and underlining that there is a recognition in the community, whether it be industry, academy, or startups or research labs, but there is a growing recognition that we all need to come together to work for the common cause. You touched base upon various sectors, be it space, supercomputing, vaccine development, quantum mission, and one way or the other way, it is clear that the collaboration works successfully in these areas. Thank you, ma'am, and we will keep working under your guidance to see how we can further catalyze and act as adding value wherever the CI can do in making it further important. We have noted that you said about shared knowledge, which can't be compartmentalized. So we have taken note of it, ma'am. Thank you for your address today. I would like to thank Professor Sudhir for being with us today. Thank you, sir. You actually mentioned some very encouraging numbers which are showing improving ranks of India in science and technology ecosystem. But indeed, a lot needs to be done, and we have taken this challenge, sir, under your guidance. We will work. We have taken this acronym PAIR and taken a note of it. We will work, and we'll actually be happy to work under your guidance in doing this Industry Academia conference, which you are planning to do later the year, for sure. So thank you. Thank you very much. I would now like to thank Professor Rangan Banerjee, I think, who's accepting this idea of doing this conclave here is in a way symbolic that there is a lot of enthusiasm in industry and academia both to work together and collaborate. Thank you, sir. We are working in the right direction. You said that there are engagements in long-term and strategic directions. We'll work on those lines. You mentioned about the research and innovation incubation centers set up at IIT. We'll try to make best use of it and provide the value input. You mentioned MTech in some emerging technologies like robotics. This is very encouraging, and there is a need from the job perspective point of view from the industry. We'll see how we can actually give some contribution and inputs towards making it all the more relevant to make the talent future ready and skill ready. Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank Mr. Nishi from Japan Embassy. Thank you. For being with us today. You actually underlined the most important part of people-to-people exchange between the two countries. We'll work with Office of PSA and also with academia and from industry side to see how this student exchange can be further encouraged, for sure. Thank you. I'd now like to thank Mr. Alok Nanda. Sir, you have given us an equation, NC, and if I may say, the simplest of the equations, we have seen it, are the most powerful equations governing human lives. So a simple equation, I is equal to NC, where impact denotes I and N for novelty and C for commercial deployment. We will see how we can sensitize the upcoming professionals on these lines and how academia industry can work towards this, commercial deployment of the novel technologies to make the impact factor grow. Thank you, sir, for your points on that. And I would like to thank Mr. Vipin Sondhi, our chairman, our guide and a mentor to this National Mission on Technology, Research and Innovation. It was your idea, sir, to bring this platform of collaboration very much into the IIT Delhi campus. The energy you can see is all the more great. There is a fraternity of researchers listening to all the industry leaders in academia. So I am sure under your guidance we are going to take this mission forward, and this conclave is going to give us some meaningful outputs to deliberate upon and take forward as our next actions. And before I thank Mr. Naresh Bhatnagar, who has been actually our guiding force from IIT Delhi side, he is Dean R&D in IIT Delhi, and my colleagues from CII, I would like to reaffirm that we are committed from industry side, from industry body side, to see what value we can add to bring student community, researchers community, startups, academia and industry of course together, so that together we can actually make a change and let the things move in the right direction as all of you have pointed. Thank you very much.